Hey guys, this is Buford with Scholarships for Soccer, and today we have a wonderful guest. His name is Leroy Andrie, and currently he coaches U18, 19 girls. We were talking before we came on camera, and he's been with this team since U9. So that's the side of soccer I've never gotten to experience with my son as we change every year. But Leroy, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. I guess the first question is how does it feel to be with these girls since U9, and you're gonna be watching them graduate after next year. So how does that feel to watch the progression over these 9-10 years?
It's a blessing. I have two of my own daughters, and one of them is on the team. And I honestly feel like I have 17, 18 other daughters. So it's one big happy family, parents included.
Okay. Now, as you've seen them when they started out with U9, when you started out with this team at U9, what were you trying to get them to do back then, as far as soccer skills?
Honestly, well, number one, having fun. And number two, just learning, how to kick a ball, how to pass and receive, the very, very basics. We didn't care about winning or losing or anything like that. I just figured that, if I make it fun and they want to be there, we'll put in the time and get better at the small stuff. When I first started, I always told myself the teams that win or do well do the small things well. So we spent a lot of time practicing throw-ins, corner kicks, free kicks, all the small things, and really trying to get them to understand possession soccer and not clump up. You get like some grapes, right? Grapes on a vine and stuff like that, and just trying to get them to not be all clumped up. So.
Okay. Now U18, U19 girls, I don't know if you have any planning to go to the next level and play in college or have the desire to, but how do you help them, as far as recruiting, if any of them are planning on going?
Putting together, really watching videos on what college coaches are looking for in highlight videos. So having that phone ready, the camera or a camcorder ready, and playing those videos, and reporting the games and trying to put things together for them. And really just sitting down, having the conversation, what are your goals? And really I do that at the beginning of every season. What do you want to get out of this year? This year they just, as they're older, they start having jobs, right? And boyfriends and schoolwork and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of difficult to field a full team at times. But at the same time, it's making sure they're there to have fun, and just spending the time talking with them and setting everything up. That way I can help them the best that I can as their coach.
Okay. So at this age, soccer-wise, they're going into U18, U19 year. Are you concentrating a lot more on tactics, or what are you concentrating on as far as their soccer skills?
Possession, possession with a purpose. There's, as I see, quite a few teams that, we play a possession style game, and it's like, well, possession is nice when you can do it, but the ultimate goal, the soccer, is to score goals, right? And if you can possess but you can't score goals, then what's the meaning of the possession game? So really getting them to play out of the back. With the new rules this year, you can receive goal kicks in the box and stuff like that. It's really nice opening it up. And my daughter's the goalie, and so she's been the goalie since she's U10. So really getting her to be vocal and getting the team to build out of the back and not be afraid to play back as well. But we do have to have a purpose in moving forward.
Okay. Now with girls, my son's the same age. He'll be going to U18, U19. The big difference I noticed about the girls is they actually listen to the coach and try to do what the coach says, whereas boys are just a lot more free flowing and don't listen to the coach. They don't listen to anybody. But
Yeah, that is true.
One thing though, girls are a lot meaner in my experience.
So
how do you deal with a coach with that meanness?
It's funny you bring that up because I did 7 years of JV coaching at the local high school out here for the girls' side as well, and the boys, as soon as they get out on the pitch, they forget any issues they've had between each other. The girls, they take that right out there and they hold grudges. I'm not passing you the ball. You messed up with my lunch today or something like that. It's they hold grudges, but it really comes down to, I think, is just having the conversation with them. Hey, when you step onto the pitch, we're all the same team. We'll deal with all the other stuff later, but for the next hour and a half, we have something we really need to focus on. And the nice thing is, a lot of the girls I coach, like we said earlier, have been together since U9, so there's not a whole lot of fighting that I have to see go on. But when I was coaching at the high school level, there was definitely plenty of that.
Okay. At this age, do you still have time for team bonding activities, or with all the other stuff, is there not time for that anymore?
Not a whole lot of time, no. They're off doing their own thing, proms, dances, other sports, jobs, boyfriends, that kind of stuff. What I do like to do, though, is I'll try and hold a practice with them, and then I'm really big on captain's practices. And I may be at the park and I'm reffing another game, and I look over and I see them over there just kicking a ball around, hanging out, and that's fine. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Just get together and hang out. So,
okay.
But it was great. As they were younger, it was all pool parties, right?
Yeah.
Or I always had the parents bring the last game of the year, fill up the coolers with water balloons and stuff like that, and don't tell them. And then after the game, we go over and applaud the parents, and parents come running out with the water guns and the balloons and do stuff like that. That was pretty cool.
All right. And I had a question, and it just left me. You got me with the water guns. I was thinking that's pretty cool.
Especially on a day like today.
Yes, I need to suggest that to my son's coach. Keep me from getting a real gun.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Now over these 9 years you had the girls. What would you say your favorite thing is about coaching youth soccer?
The aha moments. With soccer, I've seen plenty of coaches and stuff like that. I've worked with a bunch of coaches, and there are quite a few that are very stringent on what they want their team to do. I want you to play forward and backwards. We're not playing lateral. I don't want overlapping runs. Play back, hold your position. But for me, I always tell the girls, I'm teaching you something, I'm showing you, but know that there's 7 or 8 other ways to get the same result. And that's what I'm looking for. The game is so creative that it's a beautiful game. And when you give the players, the girls, the freedom to play the game as they see it happening in real time, and then it's that aha moment. It's like, wait, I just did this turn and it worked on this girl, but that's not what we practice. That's, those moments where they just pick it up on their own and they just kind of take it and run. No pun intended.
Okay. as a coach at this age, and you've had the girls for so long and you know them so well, can you tell the difference in a player who maybe goes out in the backyard and does ball work on their own? Can you tell the difference in between the way they play and maybe somebody who not necessarily doesn't do work on their own, but maybe they go to a private trainer every now and again? But can you tell the differences, like especially in creativity, between those two players?
Absolutely. The ones that are taking the time, the touches are cleaner, and they're continually challenging themselves. Maybe they're asking to be put in another position, right? Maybe they want to play outside midfield instead of a center back or something like that. And you can see every practice, their touches are getting better. And then when you're watching the games, especially like in tournaments where you have 4 games in one weekend, and you just see the creativity. And I don't like to coach when we're playing a game. I tell my players, the game is for you to show me what you've learned. And I'll stand up there and I may make some suggestions or a few alterations during the game. But my coaching comes in the practice, right? When we're practicing, that's my time with you. Or we're going to work on stuff, or I'm going to work on individual stuff with this player or that player. But in the games, that's when you see it the most. Are they making those extra runs? I have a gal that at the beginning of the season, back in November, she's working on doing a Maradona, right? And just last week in one of our games, she had a full-on sprint as an outside back, Maradona right past the midfielder and got a shot on goal. So that was, so it's small things like that when you see at the beginning of the season that they're working on certain aspects, certain moves or whatever, and then you give them that creativity and that freedom. Like, go and try it, see what happens. And it's all those little things. It happens. You can really tell.
Okay. Another question: Can you tell the difference in the players that watch a lot of soccer on their own versus those that don't watch a lot of soccer?
If you have the conversation with the girls, you kind of have to have the conversation. If some of them may come up wearing a Liverpool shirt, right? Or you got my MNUSC hat and stuff like that on right now. If they like soccer, they'll come and I'll ask them, "Hey, did you watch a game this morning?" "No, it was 6:00 in the morning." Still a good game. And then you got the ones that are trying to emulate some of the players as well. Do what they do. So you have to have the conversation. There's subtle clues. Like I said, they come wearing apparel or anything like that. But not a whole lot. Just you have to keep your ear to the ground on those type of things.
All right. Well, Leroy, I certainly appreciate you taking time to speak with us and giving us a lot of information. I know the parents in the group will love it, and hopefully you'll be able to come back again soon.
Oh yeah, anytime you need anybody, let me know.
All right.
Always happy to help.
Thanks, Leroy.
Thank you.